be efficient with things, be effective with people. The worst enemy of life is total anarchy. And the second worst enemy is total efficiency. I think if the customer was like wanting to take their time in the restaurant's in a hurry, Mr. Listeman, I'm so sorry, but you need to, can you just gobble up a little bit?
There are restaurants that are like that though.
Are there? Where's that?
They try and move you out. And maybe that's where efficiency is a little jarring when someone's got it slightly wrong. We can be efficient and do great work. Can we be efficient and always hit excellence?
You're raising the greatest philosophical question in life. Perfectionism / idealism versus pragmatism.
Hello, I'm Chris Listeman and welcome to Sparks, a series by interactive workshops. In every episode, we spark something in
Chris,
work and
we don't need to do that.
No?
Let's just get on with it because this episode is on efficiency. Do we need a long intro?
Maybe we don't. Should we just jump straight in?
Let's just go straight in.
Do you know what, I've got a question for you,
You're Chris
Jonna.
Listeman, I'm Jonna Circum.
How are you?
Fine. Yeah,
You're
really good.
fine,
Thanks.
I'm good. Let's go.
Come on, let's get on with it.
Jonna, we talk a lot about effectiveness.
Yeah.
We should be effective,
Like effectiveness.
but we don't talk so much about being efficient.
Need efficiency.
Should we? Should we talk about efficiency?
Should we talk about efficiency? Well, according to Peter Drucker, etc., management guru, efficiency is doing things right. Effectiveness is doing the right things. So there's not really any point in talking about efficiency unless you're going to be effective.
Okay,
However,
so you need that first.
You've first got to decide what are the right things, and then with those, to some extent, be efficient. I am HO.
Your HO.
In my humble opinion. I'm trying to streamline down what I'm saying.
And in doing so, I had to ask you what you meant.
That wasn't efficient.
That wasn't very efficient, was it?
Dense.
Maybe it wasn't effective.
Well, another way to look at it, be efficient with things, be effective with people. Yeah. So you know
That's interesting. Okay, what do you mean by that?
Well, what I'm saying there is that people are something that's very important. That's doing the right things, not doing things right. People, you've got to do the right things. It may take longer, but with people, you've got to do it right. There's no point rushing. If I don't kiss my wife and children before I leave in the morning, if I don't take the time, if I was efficient in the morning, I'd just leave. Yeah.
Or give them the smallest peck possible.
I would send them an Uber to pick them up. I wouldn't go and pick them up myself. You know, with people, you can't just always be being efficient. As customer service, you can't rush a customer. It might be more efficient, but you've got to do things right there.
Yeah. I guess you can rush a customer. That's why fast food exists. but there are certain times and places, certain sectors, certain restaurants even that do or don't rush.
Yeah, I think what you're confusing is when the customers are in a hurry.
Right.
That's what fast food's for.
Okay.
Versus when the restaurant's in a hurry.
Right.
I think if the customer was like wanting to take their time in the restaurant's in a hurry, Mr. Listeman, I'm so sorry, but you need to, can you just gobble up a little bit?
There are restaurants that are like that though.
Are there? Where's that?
They try and move you out. You know, they've got a long queue of people who are waiting to get in. And it's like, if you're finished, you'll be moving on, please. And maybe that's where efficiency is a little jarring when someone's got it slightly wrong.
Yeah, that's what I mean about people. So, So be efficient with things, be effective with people, I think is important. And also, I love this quote by Aldous Huxley, the very famous philosopher, which I think you'll like. The worst enemy of life, freedom, and the common decencies is total anarchy. And the second worst enemy is total efficiency. What do you think? What's that about?
Total efficiency being an enemy, being our
main
enemy.
Yeah.
Is it because we're not in some way supposed to be optimal as humans? We're messy, we're chaotic. A lot of it's chemical. We're not supposed to be machines.
We're not machines, are we? And I totally agree. I think life is to be savoured. I mean, a country walk, a journey,
a roast
dinner, company. I enjoy your company on the pod.
Yeah.
Our guests, we got to embrace them. But if you narrow down life too thinly, you can do everything efficiently. But it loses its spark, it loses its meaning. So yeah, there's a balance in there to work out what to be effective with and what to savor and what to be efficient with. So I know people who, when they watch their YouTube, they watch it on 2 times speed. You know?
That's rapid.
It's
Maybe
efficient.
that's going on right now.
It's efficient.
But
Is anyone, if you're in the comments below, subscribe if you're on 2 times speed. But it's efficient.
Yeah.
But I mean, is that what we're supposed to do with entertainment? Are we supposed to rush it?
Maybe for those people, we could slow down.
Oh, yeah.
And slightly mess with them.
Their minds.
Or we could speed up really quickly and go at 2 times speed just in real life.
Yeah, I think
really
I live
efficient,
most of my life at quite a bit of speed. But I think you mentioned earlier, but the point is, human beings, we're not really supposed to be efficient all the time. We are a social animal. We live in communities. Communities are endlessly complex. We're always filtering for a hierarchy and working out where we fit. We've got to try and do purposeful, meaningful things together. We've got to collaborate. We've got to be effective. In our world that we operate in, the world of business, we're going to have to do things with other people. We're going to have to work together with partners, vendors, suppliers, higher-uppers, teams. Doing all that is going to be complex. It's going to take time. It's going to take resources. I do think that we don't want to, if we were always trying to be efficient, we'd always be in a rush. If we were always in a rush, we're not being effective. So trying to be efficient doesn't get us where we're going faster sometimes. And that's where the great expression slow down to speed up comes in.
Right. Slow down to speed up. Tell me more about that.
Well, I think it comes from the sort of militaristic thinking that slow is smooth and smooth is fast. Yeah. Have you ever had a swimming lesson?
I have had swimming lessons, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, a while ago now, but...
I still take swimming lessons.
Do you?
Yeah. And water resistance, the resistance to the water is stronger than resistance in air. So good technique in swimming is going to get you faster than good technique in running or even cycling. But your stroke has got to be smooth. He's a smooth operator. And if you go to your local piscine, as the French call it, the swimming pool, if you go and have just a look in the lanes, you'll see some people putting in a huge amount of effort and splashing, and then there might be other people swimming a very simple breaststroke so effectively that they're faster than the splashy front crawl people. But this is a good example. If you're smooth there, you'll be efficient. Actually, one of the things my coach is always trying to get me to work on is exactly how much frontal area is hitting the water. And we just play around with marginal head positionings and a couple of degrees of different head positioning, body positioning follows the head positioning. A couple of degrees difference seems like 10, 15, 20% more speed for the same effort. So it's really interesting. Also, the hands, when you do your stroke, you're supposed to tilt your fingers because it makes your arm fly through. Yeah, right. I was trying to pull as much water as possible. You've got to put it tilt, and the catch,
Right.
It's like these tiny variables. Then when you stick your hand out the car window, these tiny variables can make a big difference. And I think it's the same at work. Yeah. I think it's the same with the meetings we have, the conversations we have, the travel we do, the work we do. If we can be efficient, be happy.
Yeah, and you said be efficient with things, and there's lots of things at work we can be efficient with. Should we be looking at all of those things and trying to make those incremental gains? Because it might seem a bit tedious. It might seem, that's like a lot of effort to go to make all of those incremental gains in our work life. Should we be doing that?
Slightly different question. When do we want to be doing that?
Yeah.
I would love to have the gears so that if I need to do something quickly, I can. If I don't need to, I don't need to. I mean, my experience is that the type of work that I want to be able to do fast is if I'm writing. As you know, I'm a very, very passionate fan of the big screens. But when you don't have a big screen, you're going to be switching between windows.
Not the big screen as in cinema, but
I like cinema as well.
Having a big screen.
I buy everyone in interactive workshops an enormous screen. And they always say, but I can't.
Genuinely huge.
I can't see anybody because I'm just sat behind this as a secondary advantage. But as an example, I've got my writer's rituals. If I need to do some writing, I've learned to touch type. So I can do 1,000 words an hour easily. I will get up the thing that I'm writing, the reference material in different windows. I have my music, which I need to work. Sometimes I listen to the same song endlessly on repeat just to get me in a zone. So I'll block out distractions with headphones. I'll put a flow state in. I will give myself a goal and say, this will be finished inside an hour. Remove all distractions, turn off all email. And I've got separate keyboards so I'm not getting a bad back from a sore body position. And I'll sit just staring and I'll just efficiently write. And, that's empowering because if I then need to, I can do that. If I'm on the back foot and I've got to get something done, I can do it. So learning those skills and developing the skills to be efficient. And I guess, it comes from my time working in factories. I used to work at BMW Group in a production environment. They're making cars. They need to be top quality. But then after that, you might as well make them fast. The faster you can get your production going, the better. You mustn't back off on the quality, but why not go for speed in that area? And that is how manufacturing companies make profits, is by being effective with the resources, being fast with the build.
And we run book writing, content generation workshops, and often we get people sit down and they're faced with that blank page, and we've asked them to write something maybe within an hour, and they're thinking, I can't, it's not going to be good enough, or I'm not a writer, and maybe sometimes does our desire to be effective get in the way of our efficiency? We could just get something done.
Is our effectiveness blocking it? I think in many cases, there's a couple of. Can we speak privately?
Of course we can.
I think there's a couple of cases that jump to mind immediately. One is just lack of focus. So you can watch we go into a lot of offices, don't we? Go to a lot of different companies. Some people, why are they there that specific day? What are they there to actually do? And, sometimes you can't. They've probably got their annual objectives and their month objectives, but on any given day, they may not have a goal. We know on a Monday, we've got to have our sales meeting, our team meetings. In this Monday, we've got to have a podcast, got a management meeting. Tomorrow, we know we've got a client meeting in the morning, a client meeting all afternoon. And then in the evening, we're flying to Munich, where guess what? We've got another meeting. We know what we've got to do, and we know what we've got to get out of each of those things. Every day we're producing stuff. I feel like Theo, my YouTuber friend, he's also very focused on outputs. So I think a lot of people, they're not fully focused on outputs. And so work can be an exercise in not getting things done and not being efficient. But then once you learn that, it's really hard to change. So then, you can't move. Once you've learned, it's actually like dieting. Once you've learned all the cheats, I used to try and go on a diet, then I'd add in, I can eat nuts. I can eat, let's say a few nuts is fine. A hot chocolate a day is fine. One chocolate after dinner is fine. A dessert's fine. I'd learn all the cheat codes. And then the next time I went to try and lose a bit of weight, I couldn't lose it because I'd activate all cheat codes. And I feel like at work, some people have got too many of the cheat codes activated, and they can't get past their own situation that they've created.
That's really interesting. And it's making me think about effectiveness and efficiency in a different way, where not so much intention, but in this kind of cycle of maybe looking at your day and going, what would be efficient? And then looking at your week and thinking, well, what would be effective? Yeah. And then looking at your month and then going, what would be efficient? And it actually helps you.
You could go like micro, macro. Yeah, I'd go the other way around. I said, what's effective for the week?
Right.
And then how do I be efficient with it?
Yeah.
In my mind, if you've got more than half a day's work to do every day, you're probably doing too much. I'd pile all of that work into being effective. Into being efficient.
Right.
And the other time, you're going to need to deal with all the other stuff that comes up.
Yeah, stuff's going to come up.
But imagine how you feel if you knew, because you're efficient, you could get half a day's work. You could get nearly a full day's work done in half a day. If you had that speed, then much more becomes possible.
Yeah, absolutely. And is there always a balance with great work? Because we can be efficient and do great work. Can we be efficient and always hit excellence?
I think efficiency is involved in excellence. Yeah. I mean, let's think about like trying to come up with the best advertising strapline possible. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a pretty big
Lots
brief.
of companies are trying to do it.
A pretty big brief.
Yeah.
Get in a marketing agency, get in the best marketing agency, do the research, do the avatars, do the customer research. I mean, but yeah, a really great person just could sit down, think about it and go, what about this? So I think, are you using the right tools? If you're trying to write a novel, can you sit down in 3 days and write an incredible novel? Well, some people can, but what if you don't have those skills? What if your writing method is a different way? Then no. So yeah, no. I think depending on what your genius is will dictate what you can do efficiently, and things that you have to work harder at might take you longer.
Mm. And then the question is where do we rein in that efficiency in order to create something brilliant? Because we're always up against the clock, some kind of clock of we've got a day to do our work, or we've got a week to turn around a deadline.
Yeah. I mean, what do? I mean, you're facing this every day.
Yeah, I don't like compromising on excellence. I know you feel the same way, but I think what I've had to get my head around is the perfectionism element of knowing what's excellent and done, and what's just heading down going round and round the last 2% of getting something done in this endless quest for it to be perfect, which you never find. Yeah. So I think knowing what your excellence bar is, and sometimes excellence is 10 out of 10, sometimes it's 8 out of 10 to you, and it might be 10 out of 10 to someone else. Yeah. And knowing where to start, where to draw the line and call it done.
You're raising the greatest philosophical question in life, Chris.
Am I?
This is all politics is all this same question. All economics is the same question. Perfectionism / idealism versus pragmatism. I mean, this is a challenge we face in life. I would like you to imagine a young co-worker that is wondering about getting married, and they come to ask you and said, Chris, I've fallen in love with this person, but there's a few things about them which I'm not completely sure about, but I'd like to settle down. Should I commit to this person for the rest of my life? Should we get married? Should we, I'm thinking about buying a car. There's this car. It's not got everything I need, but, the political parties, should we spend more money on health? Or should we have lower taxes, higher taxes? There's no, the idealism versus pragmatism that is pretty much the human struggle, I guess.
It's a huge question. Yeah. And I see it even in our workplace. People have come to me before and said, I'm hearing that you want it to be done right, but I'm also hearing that you want it to be done quickly. So what is it? What do you want me to? Do you want me to get it right first time, or do you want me to do my best efficient job of getting a draft or getting an MVP?
How do you answer that as a manager?
It's difficult. It's difficult because it's a bit of a paradox. You do want both. You want something to be done, and you also want something to be brilliant and up to scratch. And
do you think I also look at it about competence?
Yeah.
So if you're not very competent at something, then it might take you a long time to do something that's not very good. Yeah.
Fair enough.
If you're competent at something, it should take you an incredibly short amount of time to do something good. Unless the thing itself just requires work. I mean, if you're decorating a house, there's quite a few hours. There's quite a few hours of work there. Yeah. But if I was a decorator, I'd try and work out to do it really fast. I'd throw in a paint bomb. It's different working styles. I mean, there's a good example where there's certain jobs that just take time. You can't be efficient as a customer service representative sitting at a reception desk in a retail environment. There's no way to speed up the day. Yeah. You just got to do your job.
And one thing we had when I was heading up our creative studio, we had an Italian guy, Matteo. We love Matteo and his time here. And he had this challenge of working out, is this something where I'm supposed to just kind of get it done, or is this something where I'm supposed to labor over it and we're supposed to work together and collaborate and hone it? And we found the Italian words for rapid and refine. My Italian's not great. Yeah, raffinato, I remember. And use those as kind of code words for when we were discussing a project or when I was giving him a brief. This is a raffinato project. This is one we can really refine it. There's no time pressure here. Or the flip side, do you know what, Matteo, we're not going to have lots of conversation here. We're not going to involve loads of people. This is a get it done.
Yeah. The speed quality trade-off. And again, thinking like he was a climber. He's a climber, Matteo, isn't he? So there's a speed, you could do a speed ascent. Yeah. Or you could go and try something really difficult. You don't even want to be rushing there.
Exactly. Yeah.
So when should we pack light, be agile, get going, take a few risks, get it done, versus when should we really be considered? These are important questions. And then, the question I ask a lot about the world of work, which is why What about those things that we do really frequently? So if you do something once in a while, being inefficient is not going to hurt you that much. If you do it every day, being inefficient is going to hurt you a lot. If you have inefficient meetings, it's fine if it's once a month. What if it's every week? What if it's every day? If you don't write good minutes after a meeting, or you don't follow up after a sales call, it's fine if you don't follow up after one sales call. But if you're doing 10 sales calls a day or 20 and you don't follow up, you may as well not bother. So the frequency is also a big part of the calculation. And if you are going to do something frequently, you may as well become skilled at it. And if you're going to become skilled at it, you may as well go and take the time to be really good at it. And then you can get the confidence of being good at it as well.
Yeah. And you mentioned Agile. Can that approach help us with our efficiency?
I love a bit of agility, but sometimes you need brute force, and agility, we talked about it at one of our recent events. Agility can mean changing quickly and doing things rapidly, but it also can mean changing too much and doing things too fast. If your MVP isn't good enough, it will get rejected by stakeholders. So, you can say buzzwords as much as you like, but the MVP also needs to be good. The direction needs to be right. The quality needs to be strong. The communication needs to be excellent. The way you use agile methods have got to be high quality as well.
Yeah, our understanding of the concept has got to be robust. The way we use it has got to be proper as well. We use hacks, and we use this process with our clients in terms of book hacks that I described earlier, content generation, this kind of secret to unlocking efficiency within teams to generate content. Could you tell us a bit more about that approach?
Yeah, so that came about. I really love doing hacks with people. It came about from working out how to write fast for writing books and other things, but it can be applied to anything: coding, events planning, brainstorming, strategy. You can do it together. But the idea is that you get a group of people together with an accountable deadline, and everything has to be finished. And that's actually the goal that drives being able to work at speed. And I believe that when we use the deadline and a specific output goal, like in the case of a number of words, or in meetings, a number of decisions, when we say we've got to get 6 decisions made today, how are we going to get it done? That's very different from when we say, sit down and say, here's the things we need to discuss on our agenda. Let's go. So yeah, using the goal to drive that decision making. And it's funny, the way the human perception works. We're quite goal-oriented animals. Once we start thinking about what the goal is, then we start focusing in on it collectively. Coming back to a decision, if the goal is the right decision, then how long could that take? If a goal is a consensual decision by the end of this meeting, we're focused. So the extra description of what we're trying to achieve. If I'm trying to write something, the amount of words, the amount of slides, the amount of decks, if it's an Excel spreadsheet, exactly what's this formula got to do? If it's a strategy doc, where are we? Where have we got to get to? I'll start with the end goal. How many slides do we actually need to communicate this? How many words do we need to communicate this?
Set those creative constraints.
Yeah, set the constraints. And that's the balance. Otherwise, you fall into idealized procrastination. All right, I don't even know where to start now because this has to be really good. And I've always believed that the good work comes once you've started. It doesn't really come, before.
Yeah. So a way of getting over that blank page.
Yeah, blank page.
Problem, even in the context of a board meeting or any kind of thing in our work life.
Definitely. And again, very simple strategies. In a meeting, have you, before the meeting, worked out what you've got to decide? If that's what you're doing. Have you sent that out in advance for people to think about? Have they had the pre-read? Have they done the pre-read? Have you asked them to come back to you and say, before we get to the meeting to discuss it, what's your default start point? I've done that with meetings where on 6 out of the 8 items, the default start point for all those 6, everyone already agrees what we've got to do. So there's no discussion needed. Yeah, if you don't do that, then you come to the meeting and there's
hours of discussion. Yeah.
And then also like prioritization. So have we put them in the right order? Have we got, and this is the same for our working day. So I guess a lot about sequencing. Are we doing things in a sensible order? Are we doing things in the right order? Have we got the actual right sequence? Do you put the big discussion at the end of the meeting? Or do you put the big discussion at the beginning meeting? What would you do?
It's a difficult question, isn't it? Because if you save it, you might end up in hours of discussion before we get to the important bit.
Yeah.
If you put it up front, it could dominate the whole thing. But that might be okay. I'd probably put it up front.
Would you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What would you do?
I think if there's quick wins, I just try and get them done.
Get them done first.
Yeah. Just say, look, like guys, we really need to talk about this. So can we talk about A, B, C, and just agree it? Because D, we want to take our time on.
Yeah. Different ways to play it, and prioritization can help us.
Yeah.
Can we be efficient in life beyond our work? Should we be trying to be efficient at home?
Or well, I mean, it can help us. I like to clean my teeth in the shower.
Do you
really like that?
Do you do that every day?
My son does as well now as well. Yeah, he thinks that's how you clean your teeth. He's 14. He's in the shower cleaning his teeth. I just think there's little things like that can help you. I mean, we all know, everything has a place and everything in its place. If you've got something and you put it down, my mum drilled me on this. Why are you putting that there? I only need to pick it up and then put it back where it goes. Why not just put it where it goes?
Yeah.
Recycling. I mean, why not just sort it out and then put it out?
Yeah.
It's efficient.
Yeah.
We have 2 dishwashers because when you have a lot of people in the house, the dishwasher gets full, it piles up, then you've got to put it from there back in the dishwasher again. It turns out that dishwasher is just a cupboard that washes things. And you don't even have to undo it if you don't have to unload it if you want. You can load it, you can put your dirty things in, put it on. The next day you can take them straight from there and put them on the table for breakfast. Yeah. You don't have to put it back in the
glorified cupboard.
It's a cupboard. It is a cupboard, not even glorified. Just washing.
Yeah. So I'm also thinking of the like a little dish people have for tea bags on the way to the bin.
That. Cannot deal with that.
My mum has one next to the food bin.
No.
It can go straight in there.
No. Put it in the bin.
Mum.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, we do it, don't we? We're crazy. I mean, we've also got our washing machine upstairs. Right. So this is. If I found out, I talked to a plumber. Why are all the washing machines in the kitchen?
Most people have.
Do you
them
really
downstairs.
want to wash your food? Do you really want to wash your clothes in the kitchen where all your food is? And then when you take it out of the washing machine, it's in the same environment as all your dirty food, your cat bowl and your dog dinner and your messy children, your clean clothes, damp clothes. And then you've got to hang it out somewhere. But I realised, do you know what? We take the clothes off upstairs. We don't need to bring them downstairs and then put them in the washing machine and then take them back upstairs. We could just put the washing machine upstairs because guess what? There's plumbing up there. So we've ruined a bedroom, but we've got...
But it's efficient.
It's efficient, yeah. You take off your clothes, you wash them. They never see the bottom half of the house.
Yeah. So does the same rule apply at home then, that you should be efficient with things, but not with people, not with the relationships, not with your in-laws?
I'll tell you what with people though. So I see with people that instead of having a difficult conversation, we keep having uncomfortable conversations. And I feel like with people, it is actually efficient and effective to try to have bigger conversations when necessary rather than constant niggle conversations.
Right.
And I think that we can laugh around about podcasts and efficiency. But I do feel like in the human domain, sometimes we're just avoiding the deeper issues. And if we could head those off and just deal with them together and not have to talk about it or feel emotional and worried about it anymore, that's worth doing. And the other half of a couple was a person who's works in teams in businesses. With all my knowledge of communication skills and savvy, I still can't do it because it's really hard. It's really hard to...
What conversations do you find hard?
I think bringing up conversations, things that are difficult between people, things that a change... Let's say I wanted to see a change in you and...
You may well do.
I don't really, but let's say I did.
I've got lots I can improve.
Yeah, that's a good attitude. That makes it easy, doesn't it? But what I'm saying is, you know what it's like at home. There's things you can't change. There's things you can't improve. And there's habits that you have or attitudes that are annoying to the other person, and sometimes you neglect that person or you let them down. And sometimes you just haven't agreed mutually what the way should be. So let's say like the dishwashers. Like some people spend a lot of time debating whether the fork should be with the other forks or whether it's okay to put them all in random order.
Standing up or
some people wake up every morning, go down, open the dishwasher, feeling annoyed about their other half, and think we could have all the forks together, all the knives together. That's how my in-laws do theirs, and but why not try even on the smallest? It's efficient, I think, even on the smaller things. Try and agree a joint way forward that you're both going to commit to, and then get on with it, rather than feeling all the tensions and the niggles and I don't know how the car's parked or whether there's recycling's put out. Who's going to do it? Does it matter? let's just get it done.
Do you think maybe then there's a tendency that bears out in workplaces, in teams, in marriage? Some people are going for effectiveness. Their tendency is to go for what's effective, the way the dishwasher works. Throw it all in there, put it on. And some people are going for efficiency. Let's get all those forks together. I've got a system here where all the plates line up in this particular way. And then maybe that's why we have these tensions.
Yeah, it's probably the true in life that the systematizers win when it comes to getting everything done. I think.
Do you think so?
Yeah, I think the chaos people, I put myself in the relatively the chaos person bracket. I think the chaos people, we don't win when it comes to efficiency. We might have a different experience of life, but when I get in from a bike ride, if I put my bike in, I always put my lights on charge. I put my Garmin on charge. It's all efficient.
Okay.
But I think that's winning in those areas because otherwise, when you want to use the lights of the Garmin, it ain't working.
So as a relatively chaotic person, you've learned to embrace particular processes to
behavior.
Be efficient.
Yeah, it's learned behavior for me.
Right.
Definitely learned behavior. And funny enough, actually, sometimes when you learn behavior, you become a more militant proponent of it than if it was your natural.
Yes. I've seen this with you with cycling, actually.
Yeah.
The way you should clean a bike, for example, and maintain it.
Naturally, I do not believe you should clean and maintain a bike. I used to mock people that wash their car at the weekend.
Right.
And I used to mock people that clean their bike. And then I learnt the habit of why they clean it and what it can mean. And I learned to appreciate it. And then now I spend hours cleaning with a toothbrush every cog of my bike about once a week.
How do you do that? For anyone that's listening that's a bit more chaotic, is finding it difficult talking about these incremental gains, these tiny things, do they really matter? How do you embrace getting into efficiency like that?
Well, I think as with nearly everything, and this is can I be a bit, I don't know, maybe a bit wanky? Is that the word? I mean, learning and development. I like to learn and develop. I think our defenses block us. I really think our defenses block us from embracing learning how other people do life. You know, when you go to someone else's house and it's like, I don't know, are you shoes on or shoes off?
I don't really mind. My wife would say shoes off.
Our house is shoes on. Some people can't do it. They cannot go, okay, it's a shoes on environment. That's fine.
Yeah.
We've got nice, dirty house floors, wooden floors that can be dirty, that children can be sick on, that people can spill food on, that dogs can lick on. That, you know, it doesn't matter because surprisingly.
Shoes are one of the cleanest things.
Shoes are one of the cleanest things that comes into the downstairs of our house. But some people, if you say to them, look, actually, no, it's shoes on here, it's fine. Oh, no, I can't. And I feel like that on nearly every level that if we're blocked from embracing new things and trying things out and experimenting, then we can't learn more, we can't assimilate more. But I love, they call it growth mindset, whatever you call it, but I love the idea that we should leap in and embrace someone else's way of being. In fact, my daughter took me to Space NK this weekend.
Oh yeah, how was that?
That was good. I embraced it and I tried to learn.
Yeah. Good.
I said to them, hi, I'm really excited about being in your shop.
I bet they love that.
They loved it. I said, look, look, this is what I've got. I don't do anything. I don't moisturize. I don't do anything. I don't clean.
Just heavily shampoo.
Shower, clean the teeth, bit of shampoo. So is there any way that I could be more attractive? And she said, oh, yes. And she gave me a moisturizer. Yeah. I just put it on in the shop and I moisturized it. I said, oh, yeah, that feels great. I mean, how do I look? You look fine. Okay. But I was willing to dive into the world of Space NK and beauty.
Embraced it. Yeah.
Do you have a beauty regime in the morning?
It's minimal, to be honest.
Is it?
Yeah. It's 90% hair gel.
Is it hair gel?
Yeah.
Moisturize?
No.
You could look a lot more attractive, apparently.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Maybe we should try.
Good.
But I have a very efficient morning routine.
Do you?
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
Shower.
Just
then
shower.
gel my hair.
Clothes?
Always clothes.
Always
clothes. Varying levels depending on what I've got to do that day.
My kids to put their clothes out the night before.
Oh yeah, that's an efficient process.
They hate that, but it's like, guys, come on, pack your bag.
It's got to be done.
There's a brilliant book called Now Make Your Bed by retired general of the American Army. Yeah. Saying like, why not just make your bed before you do? You'll have succeeded before you even leave your bedroom in the morning. You'll feel good. I think the same with
it's a principle. Isn't
bags
it?
the night before.
Get it done.
Pack stuff. Get it put away.
Yeah.
Also because of the emotions. So if you're going traveling, you pack your bag the night before. When you wake up, you don't have to panic. You just get up and go, and you can feel calm. Same for the kids.
Yeah.
Whereas, you know, the humanness, the tension, and it's a variable, isn't it? So it might take longer than you expect. You can't find something, but if you can't find it the night before, you keep looking till it's found.
Yeah.
In the morning, you might be trying to leave for the school bus. So find it, pack it, go to bed with this beautifully clear mind, sleep like a baby, wake up, make your bed, and go to school. Yeah.
I similarly used to mock and laugh at people that would set things out, like even breakfast laid out.
I love that.
Spoon, bowl. It's like, you could just do that in the morning.
Yeah.
Like, it's just exactly the same thing. It's just get the bowl out. There's nothing that's going to go wrong between your bed and the bowl. My uncle used to run a shop and get up at 3, 4 o'clock to start the shift at 5 or something. Would lay out his spoon, bowl. Like, wow.
I do that when I go cycling.
I love it now.
On the bedroom floor, I'll lay out all my clothes in sequence so that I know I've got everything. I don't have to fumble in a drawer in the dark.
Yeah. It's also if you're trying to sort of trick yourself into going. If you're going for an early run, it's cold. You know it's going to be cold. You know you're going to wake up and think, do I just snooze? Laying everything out, making it as easy as possible, efficient as possible to get out the door.
Or next level up, wear the running clothes to bed.
It's even better.
You wake up, you're slightly overly hot in some Lycra.
Yeah.
But you've got no excuse there not to go for it.
Start running straight from the bed, out the door. Set your Strava to go as soon as you wake up.
Chris, I mean, this started efficient, but we're
in danger of being inefficient with how we wrap up. No, we should wrap up.
What have you taken this? What's sparking in your mind? I mean, the idea of this podcast is to help people think through how they could get something more in work and life.
Yeah.
Is there anything sparking for you?
I'm thinking through what are those things that, like the laying out of clothes, like the dishwasher process, what are those things for my work? Because I don't think I have secrets, hacks, systems for my work in the same way that I might do for the little things. So yeah, I'm thinking through what those are.
What's happening for me is that I'm thinking, if I was efficient with my work, would I cram in more work? I wouldn't.
Would you go home early?
I wouldn't. I'd go home early.
Right.
And I do believe that that's also the hallmark of really effective people, is that they're efficient at work, get it all done, get their results, get their outcomes, get their sales, hit their targets, and then go home. Yeah. When they get home, do they need to be efficient? Hopefully not. Hopefully they go and walk their dog, spend time with their kids,
really
go
enjoy
to the
something.
gym, enjoy stuff. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
That's what life is about.
And tell us a bit more about how we're helping clients go faster.
Well, the kind of topics we've discussed here are very deep and important business topics. Profitability is linked to productivity. Productivity is linked to efficiency. So in organizations, we want to try to be fast, but we help teams think about how they're going to learn the skills to be fast. We help them think about how they're going to develop the right habits and routines. We help them with communication skills so that they can be effective in their communication, therefore deal with the difficult issues. We help them think about how to lead. But also some of the stuff we've discussed today is often a mindset shift. We so often could work on the details, but if we can get the principles, if we can have a new approach to an old problem, that's how we get real change and achieve breakthrough. So it's, some of the coaching work we do, some of the deeper leadership development, some of the sales. You can have these kind of efficiency breakthroughs in a sales training, thinking about your selling style, your deal process, your way of engaging with stakeholders. And you realize, do you know what? If I were to change my ritual and change my method, I could be so much more efficient.
Yeah, you see it roll out across weeks and months.
Yeah,
and it's tens of thousands or
scale that across a sales team or scale that across an organization.
Yeah.
And you realize, actually, you know what? We'll then generate more capacity. And with that capacity, we can do even better in our sales results. So yeah, I love the way that we work in those areas, and I love the variety of that. It's not just leadership or not just sales, but we build competence by working in those different areas. And we try and find out how to bring it all together for our clients.
Brilliant. Jonna, very efficient answer. Thank you.
It was long and distinguished, but it's been a long week.
My pleasure. Thank you for joining me.
Chris, it's been a pleasure.
See you next time.
See you next time.
Thanks for watching this video by Interactive Workshops. Give it a like down below and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next video. Click through to here or here to watch another video by Interactive Workshops.